Hey, what is going on, everybody? So check out what I got fresh from the Apple Store. It's the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I got it in 512 gigabytes and in this blue titanium. I actually had a pre-order on the way, and I decided to check out if my local store had any in stock, and at which point I canceled the pre-order and just picked it up in store. So here we are, retail version, straight, as I said, from the Apple Store. I'll be using it on the T-Mobile network. Front of the box, it's a white box, just like last year. We're a couple years removed from the black boxes now. You've got an Apple logo in the color of the phone you got on the bottom here. So in this case, it's like a deep blue. Some people have said that it's not super blue in person, the phone. We'll see. On the side, also in blue, it says iPhone. And on the top side, you've got an Apple logo again in blue. On the other side, iPhone written in blue. So you see the complementary branding on all of the sides. And on the front, there's not really 3D, but there's kind of an embossing of the image here of the phone you got in the color you got. On the back, it tells you the phone you got, of course. And it says includes the iPhone 15 Pro Max and a USB-C. That's right, USB-C charge cable, power adapter, and headphones sold separately. On the bottom here, it'll tell you the storage option that you got, as well as the color. So without further ado, let's unbox this. And it's a typical Apple unboxing. We've got some pull tabs here. It's on one side, and it really doesn't matter which side you pull from, but we'll follow the directions here, the arrows. Flipping it over, and there she is in all her beauty, the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This one in blue titanium. I know the natural titanium is probably the most popular color option. I know the natural titanium is probably the most popular color option this season, probably followed by this blue titanium. I think both look fantastic. I actually think the natural titanium probably looks the best without a case, but in a case, I don't know, for me, it's just going to get old pretty quickly, maybe slightly bland. But in a case, I think this blue is going to pop real nicely, this sort of deep blue. So much like the deep purple last year, and perhaps they should have called this deep blue, it kind of has some graphite undertones, space gray, graphite, and in other angles, it's a little bit more blue. So you see as I shine it toward my natural lighting, toward the window here, it's quite blue. And then when I do this, it's a little bit more on the darker side, a little bit more of a graphite or space gray. Nevertheless, I think it's going to look quite nice, caseless or in a case, and I can already tell how much lighter this is. It's amazing how much of a difference 19 or 20 grams makes in the hand. So that's definitely a pleasant change. So on the sides here, you see how the aluminum is brushed. It's still going to pick up fingerprints. Titanium tends to do that. And that's why I think I wanted to make sure I got the color that I thought was going to look best in a case, because this one is one that I'm going to be using a case for, even though I really do like to use phones without a case. So you see the glossy Apple logo on the back there, a matte finish to the glass. Man, I know it's just 19 or 20 grams, and maybe I'm overselling it, but I can't get over how much lighter this is. And the phones used to be quite light when, like for example, the Samsung phones using Armor aluminum. Aluminum is quite light, but you see the Pro Max in an iPhone, and you automatically think really heavy. So it's kind of messes with your mind holding it and looking at this thing. So on the side, of course, your power button, and you've got your 5G antenna. Sticks out a little bit there. Sticks out color-wise, I mean. And then on the other side, your volume up, volume down buttons, and of course, your all-new action button. RIP to the mute switch. Frankly, I think this was long overdue as somebody who uses both Android phones and iPhones. There's just so much more you can do, basically mapping this button to almost any action you want. So I think this is a welcome change, in my opinion. Let's peel this front cover off. Not terribly noisy, but still satisfying. And here you are. Maybe in this angle you can kind of see the front cameras and the dynamic island, the sensors there in the front. And yeah, let's get this thing started here. So I'm going to be transferring from the eSIM on my iPhone 14 Pro. This was a 256 gigabyte version in gold. And yeah, here we are. Let's see if there's any juice in this. Turn it on. And there's that Apple logo. Quick look at the top. It's quite a change seeing that brushed finish. Let's see if there are any fingerprints already. I have touched it on the side here. You see there are some fingerprints there. But again, I'm going to be using this with a case. On the bottom, a USB-C port. What do you know? What else is in the box? You got your typical, your stickers, some documentation, and a braided USB-C to USB-C cable. Of course, no charging brick out of the box. You're going to have to buy separate accessories to get the full charging speeds. I'm not going to do that. I've got charging bricks laying around, plenty of USB-C cables. The beauty of USB-C, got access to electricity pretty regularly, thankfully, so I'm not too worried about super fast charging or anything like that. Not that the iPhone offers particularly fast charging to begin with. So, hello, we are greeted. And we swipe to open, and I'm going to choose my language, my region, and I'm going to connect it to Wi-Fi. Let's see your appearance. I'm going to keep it on the default. Quick start, looking for nearby devices. Hopefully it'll find my old iPhone, even though it's on Do Not Disturb. So it did find it, even though it's on Do Not Disturb. So I'm connecting now to set up the new iPhone. All right, here we go. It says may take a few minutes. All right, just covering up my phone number there. It is transferring my phone number from my old phone. It says activating there on the bottom. So maybe it takes a little bit of time. I'm sure there are plenty of iPhones getting activated today, of course. Now it says connecting to network. So this may take a little bit of time. Be patient with that, but it finishes in the end. Cellular setup complete, and I'm going to hit continue. There is a launch day software update. I'm going to update now. And FYI, I also got an email from T-Mobile letting me know that my SIM change is complete. So the software update is taking a little bit of time to download here, several minutes. Taking another look around the phone, and you see there are some more contoured edges there on the sides, making the phone more comfortable to hold. And I'll tell you that it really does make a difference in conjunction with that lighter weight. The sides now are exactly like what you'll find on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip and the Z Fold, which also have flat sides, but that contour the edges there. And that is a welcome change on this iPhone 14 Pro Max especially. Camera housing doesn't look to have really changed much. And as I move the phone at different angles here, hopefully you get a better idea of how this blue titanium looks in person. And finally, the update is done. By far the longest launch day update I've experienced with new iPhones here. So automatically went to dark mode because that's what I had it on default on my previous phone. Continuing with the default appearance here. And it appears that it is once again asking us to set up from our previous phone. So that's twice in one setup. That is definitely new for me. And let's see here so far. It has not been able to detect the circle. Put this into the frame here so you can see what I'm doing. It is not detecting it. Apple should probably make this a white background screen so that the phone can more easily detect this pattern in the future. All right, so a bit of a clumsy setup process, but I used the code and got the two phones authenticated here so that it could transfer and set up from my previous phone after the software update. All right, guys, and we are back here, and just FYI, this has taken about 49 minutes from the time I unboxed to setting this up, between the updates and transferring the software update, that is, and transferring data from my old 256 gigabyte phone. So just FYI, make sure you leave plenty of time to set this up. If you're headed somewhere or something, make sure that you give yourself a good hour or so at least to set the iPhone 15 series device up. So once you get set up, it lets you know that you can still use silent mode. You can toggle silent mode on and off, or check its status in the control center. If you're used to Android phones, this is typically how you do it. You just manually pull down on the quick panel menu or something and just hit mute there. And of course, you can set up your action button to do that as well. But if you want to set your action button to do something else and free it up, it's also still pretty quick to mute your device. And once the phone launches, you have a quick tutorial here about said action button. And let me go ahead and customize now and see what we do. We can set it to silent mode. I can turn on focus there. I can use it to launch the camera, flashlight, voice memo, magnifier, or a shortcut. You can also have some accessibility options there, or no action at all. I'm not sure why you would want to do that. I'll just set it here to launch the camera so that the camera can launch quickly, just like on these Android devices. For example, I have here an S23 Ultra, and I just double tap on the camera, on the power button if I want to launch the camera. So I'll pick camera there, continue. Welcome to iPhone, swipe up to get started. And we are in here, my apps and data are downloading in the background. I can move this iPhone away now. And as that is going on, let me launch the camera. Let's check out one or two of the new features, hardware and software wise. Let's first check out the 5x optical zoom here. Let me see that. Try to take a photo here of this little pumpkin. And you guys tell me how that looks. I think that looks pretty great. This is what I took a photo of. And let's see, I can make the screen a little bit brighter here for you guys so you can get a better indication of how that 5x telephoto lens performed on that shot. Now, of course, I'm going to be taking a lot more photos of things and reporting back with how they look. In fact, I'm going to be doing a full comparison between the 15 Pro Max here and the S23 Ultra, Samsung Galaxy over here. So get subscribed. It's free if you want to know when that drops. You also need to hit that notification bell so you don't miss when that video is posted. Just a quick size comparison here too. I think this iPhone 15 Pro Max is a little bit easier in the hand to hold. We'll see what Samsung does about that with the S24. It's usually a cycle. You know, one phone will beat the other at something, and then once that phone that was beat that launch cycle, they'll improve something there. But so yeah, for me certainly, I think it's easier in the hand, a little bit easier to hold here. This 15 Pro Max reminds me more of the S23 Plus in terms of how it's shaped, the weight, I guess, in the hand as well, and just how it feels overall. That is how these phones look. And of course, the iPhone is slightly shorter. It's going to be a little bit narrower as well, and I believe is slightly lighter. So that's about it, guys. The iPhone 15 Pro Max unboxed in this wonderful, beautiful blue titanium color. Up next, I've got some case videos coming up for you. And again, like I said, an S23 Ultra versus iPhone 15 Pro Max comparison once I get to use this phone for a little while. And to top it all off, let me throw this into one of the new MagSafe cases, FineWoven from Apple. I've got the mulberry color here. Picks up dust pretty easily, but that's all right. Here is how that case looks on camera in the sunlight, if you want to see how that color looks a little bit more accurately. And let's place our iPhone into here. See how that looks. Did not get any animation, but here we are, the mulberry paired with, so I'm just trying to get it into the sunlight here, the mulberry paired with the blue titanium iPhone 15 Pro Max. I think that's a really nice combination here, and I think that's going to be the move for this iPhone season for me. That's about it, guys. I appreciate you watching. Like I said, I've got more videos coming up, case videos. I've got the S23 Ultra versus this 15 Pro Max coming up in a video as well, so hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, both of which of course are free, so you will be notified when those videos drop. I'll also leave links in the description to where you can pick all this stuff up. And until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one. This video is sponsored by Best No Copyright Music. I'm often asked where it is I get the music that I include in my videos. The answer to that question is Best No Copyright Music. Link to their channel is in the description.